Today, we're diving into something huge. It's one of the most ambitious educational overhauls in modern history, India's National Education Policy 2020. And trust me, this isn't just a few minor tweaks, it's a complete reimagining of the classroom for millions and millions of students.
And it all really starts with this one powerful sentence. This isn't just some quote from a policy document, it's the mission statement. Every single word here, experiential, holistic, and maybe the most revolutionary one of all, enjoyable, signals a massive shift away from old-school rote learning and toward building a real, genuine love for discovery. So to really get what this new classroom is going to look like, we first have to understand the philosophy behind it, the big why that's driving this entire monumental change. Okay, this slide really gets to the heart of it. We're seeing a very deliberate move away from just stuffing your brain with facts for an exam. The focus is now on holistic development, nurturing the whole person. And instead of just what a student knows, the new yardstick is competency. What can a student actually do with that knowledge? It's a whole new system built on flexibility, choice, and yes, that radical idea that learning should actually be fun.
And check this out. This chart basically lays out the entire game plan. You can see exactly how that big top-level vision flows right down into how the curriculum is restructured, which then changes the actual teaching style in the classroom. It's a really clear top-to-bottom strategy to make sure the big ideas connect with what happens every single day at school.
So, let's see how this all plays out in practice. Starting right at the very beginning, we're talking about the foundational years for kids aged 3 to 5, which are now seen as the absolute bedrock for a lifetime of learning. For these youngest learners, the classroom is basically becoming a playground for the mind. The goal is simple, but it's so important. Build basic reading and math skills. But the how is the real game changer. It's all going to happen through play, through puzzles, and hands-on activities that naturally build logical thinking, with a big emphasis on learning in their own mother tongue first. And this isn't just happening inside the school walls. The policy is designed to strengthen the entire early childhood system. It creates this smooth, natural path from community childcare centers, known as Anganwadis, right into the formal school system. It's all about making sure no child gets left behind. All right, next up is the preparatory stage. So as kids get a little older, the learning style starts to evolve with them. It keeps that same spirit of discovery, but starts to bring in just a little bit more structure. Now, the crucial thing here is that the fun doesn't stop. Play and activity-based learning are still front and center, but now they're slowly supplemented with light textbooks. This stage is also where India's three-language formula kicks in, using bilingual materials to make learning multiple languages feel totally natural. And the goal here is to build true multilingualism, and with it, a much deeper appreciation for India's incredible diversity of languages. And there's flexibility baked right in. Students can even change one of the languages they're learning as they move into higher grades. Okay, this is where things get really hands-on. A huge part of this new approach is the recognition that, let's be honest, some of the most important lessons are learned way outside the pages of a textbook. Get this, for 10 days, students will leave their school bags at home. Seriously. Instead, they'll go out into their local community and intern with experts, learning carpentry from a carpenter, gardening from a gardener, or pottery from a potter. It's all about connecting education directly to real-world, tangible skills. And it's not just traditional crafts either. To get students ready for the future, coding gets introduced right in middle school. But it's not some dry, theoretical subject. It's taught through fun, hands-on, integrated activities. The curriculum also weaves in reading that builds both knowledge and character. So students who get to explore these timeless Indian fables, understand their rights and duties by reading parts of the Constitution, and learn vital life skills, all through engaging stories and projects. And learning becomes a team sport. A huge variety of school clubs, everything from science circles to dance circles, will give students a chance to really dive into their passions and learn from each other in a project-based way. So when you put all of these pieces together, what does the new classroom actually look and feel like for a student on a day-to-day basis? Well, it's a fundamental shift in the entire environment. The teacher's role is going to transform completely. No longer are they the sage on the stage, just lecturing from the front of the room. Instead, they become a guide on the side, someone who facilitates discovery, encourages questions, and helps students build the skills to go out and explore and analyze the world for themselves. Ultimately, this is the core transformation right here. That frantic race to just finish the syllabus and memorize a bunch of content is over.
The new goal, the new finish line, is a deep understanding of core concepts and the ability to think critically to solve real-world problems. It is the absolute shift from learning what to think to learning how to think.
And that leaves us with a really fascinating final thought. This whole policy puts the idea of enjoyable learning right at its center. So the big question we have to ask is, what happens to a generation of learners, and really, to an entire nation, when an education system is intentionally redesigned from the ground up to be a joyful experience? The potential is pretty exciting to think about.